Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today in deck number 569, we're going to talk about Snapdax, the apex of the hunt. So we got red, white, and black. Nightmare, cat, dinosaur. I love how they put a creature per color, Anyway, we have a 3/5 double strike, which is pretty sweet for a 4 casting cost commander, just even if you ignore the mutate thing. But it does mutate for 5. When it mutates, it deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls, and you gain 4 life. Well, 4 damage is not always going to kill the thing. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to give Snapdax Death Touch. That way, when it mutated that trigger, it dealt the 4 damage. It would always kill whatever it hit. So then, I'm explaining the rabbit hole I fell down. So I was like, well, okay, we're going to give it Death Touch. And there's some other cards in here that do that. But I was like, well, you know what's really cool with Death Touch? Trample. Because Death Touch, it already has double strike. Oh my gosh. So here I am a couple of cards deep, and I'm like, well, it kind of looks like I'm doing a commander damage kind of thing, but also doing the mutate thing. So I guess first let's look at, I got 2 categories of creatures here. I have creatures that mutate and stuff that you want to mutate onto. So let's look at the cards we want to mutate onto. Like, say, Blight Beetle. Protection from the most popular color in the format. Maybe even the game. And, target Hydra deck scoops. That's what Blight Beetle says to me. We have Sunblade Angel. Yeah, I know. Flying First Right Vigilance key. It's just, 6 minutes a bunch, but it's nowhere near as much as Zatalpa, right? Zatalpa comes stacked with the Trample and the Indestructible as well. The Vampire Nighthawk for those 3 abilities, because it also, if you can mutate onto the Nighthawk, you get the Death Touch. Oh, speaking of creatures to mutate on, Needle Spectre. This is awesome, because it says when Needle Spectre deals combat damage to a player, that player discards that many cards. Whoa. So when you mutate on top of it, yeah, it's nice. Seraph of the Scales. For a black mana, you can make it give Death Touch, of course, if you mutate on top of it. Raving Dead is, I'm not going to lie, it's just funny. Especially with a mutating double strike. Because, yeah, it's going to attack an opponent at random. But you know what? In this case, we may be talking about 1 swing kills. So maybe doing it at random is exactly what needs to happen so that, the blame doesn't fall squarely on, me for choosing you must die. But, they lose half their life. It's got a double strike commander it's dumb. And then, Silent Arbiter wants to be tapped, apparently. So Silent Arbiter. This is beautiful as a base creature to start mutating up on, because really our whole shtick is 1 creature, right? So we're just going to attack with our 1 big beater, and they can't, team block it. Now let's look at the other mutate cards. We have just a few. We'll start with the named the Mysterious Egg. Of course, when it mutates, you get a counter on it. And the Nightmare Snake. Target creature and opponent controls gets -2/-2. But then we've got Vulpikeet. It gets, when it mutates, it gets a counter. The Hemophage. Yeah, it's damage and life, and the Porky Parrot. This may or may not. I mean, we're doing this for the trigger, pretty much. The Huntmaster Liger. Creatures you control get +X, where X is the number of times it's mutated. Even if it's +1 or 2, a lot of times that +1 or +2 is going to matter. The Dirge Bat. It mutates, destroy a creature. Or a planeswalker. Wow. Cavern Whisperer. When it mutates, each opponent discards a card. Mutate trigger, a discard and draw. Mind Leecher, the mutate card from the Commander set. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, just, you can play them. Regal Leosaur. Other creatures, which, Chittering Harvester, Harvester. Sacks a creature. Necropanther. Return target creature card with CMC 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. I guess now would be a good time to go through some mana, because we're kind of mana hungry in a 3-color deck. We have things like, the Soul Ring, Boros Signet, Rakdos Signet, Arcane Signet, Bonder's Ornament, still a great card, Rakdos Locket, Orzhov Locket, and the Mardu Banner. Now, these next ones are cards that are, since we are kind of doing the whole commander damage deal, this is cards to help, our commander be a better one-hit kill. Retreat to Hagra. Let's face it, we're going to choose target creature gets +1 and Death Touch. The reason why the +1 is so important is our commander's already a 3 power with double strike. So that's 6. And if we've got any of these pluses on there, we can add Phyresis on it and it becomes a one-shot kill. Even if there's a blocker, if we get the power up to where it's going to deal 11 damage, even if they have a blocker, the interaction between Death Touch and Trample, you can assign 1 to the blocker, which is lethal, and have the other 10, if it's an 11 power, trample over to the player. So that's why I'm running things like, Sword of Vengeance, Haunted Cloak to give the trample, Scourge of the Nobilis. Fire Breathing for Boros is not bad. That's 2 of our 3 colors, there's the lifelink thing too, but hey, it's going to give it +2, right? Swiftfoot Boots, and probably the best gotta get in there card ever made, Dalthy Embrace. Because this way, we can make it essentially unblockable. The beautiful part about Dalthy Embrace too is, as y'all know, I love to tinker with combats that don't involve me. So, be like, hey, if you don't destroy my thing, I'll make sure your creature gets through on them this turn. Big political tool. Carpe Diem, seize the day. Great. Untap target creature. Yeah, it just untaps 1. You know what? That's all we need to untap, is just the 1. Now, White Main Line. You notice White Main Line was not with the creatures because for the purposes of this deck, it's not a creature, this is a spell. And when you mutate cards, one on top of the other, that sets you up for big-time card disadvantage, especially if there's a spot removal. Because they can get 1 for the stack, whatever the stack is. And this is when you White Main Line, because that stack is 1 creature. You cast your White Main Line, it has flash. Return the stack to your hand. And it also works at not just the pinch of save your stack from dying, your mutated stack from dying. You can, if you're just run dry and don't have any more mutate targets, you can start over. That's why so the white main line is for one creature. The Dust Elemental will get you 3. More than likely, the Dust Elemental will get you 2 plus it. Let's see. Unlikely Aid is going to help our our mutate stack be indestructible. We've got a Diabolic Tutor to go help us find something. Unburial Rites. I had to run the Mythos of Snapdax because, it is a card that he is named in. So that's a thing, His possessive card, I felt like it had to be in there. Some card draw of Tormenting Voice, Read the Bones, Thrill of Possibility. Light of Hope. The Light of Hope. I love this card. Now, granted, I have not cast it, but it's a white charm, and it can destroy the enchantment, which matters a lot of times, and it puts a 1/1 counter. I don't know that I'll ever do the gain 4 life thing. Maybe. Snapdax is both black and red, so Ghostly Flame kind of needs to be in there for all those crazy circles of protection, the protection from colors, protection from red, protection from black, Nope. Doesn't matter now. So what else we got here? Oh, speaking of removal, we have Deadly Rollick. Now, all of these free spells, if you have your commander, are just amazing. Shriekmaw, actually not a bad card. I've got it with removal, but if you just hard cast it for the 5, it's got fear. It's not a bad thing to mutate on top of. Murder, Farika's Libation, Afterlife. Valve Duty's kind of soft removal, but Unmake, Crackling Doom. Love me some Crackling Doom. Terminate, Heartless Act. Now, Ride Down. I love me some Ride Down, because it does what we're wanting to do here. Gives Trample. That's what we're wanting to do. Now we have non-basic lands. We're going to start, of course, with our Triome. I love the Triomes. A lot better than the old, Tri-lands that we had. The Nomad Outpost, the Command Tower, Myriad Landscape, Rocky Tar Pit, Alchem Refuge, Rakdos Guildgate, Shadowblood Ridge, Salt Flats, Orzhov Guildgate, Scoured Barrens, Forsaken Sanctuary, Stone Quarry, Boros Guildgate, Windscarred Crag, Terramorphic Expanse, Evolving Wilds, Transguild Promenade, and Exotic Orchard. Y'all didn't get none of those tops of those cards, did we? I was actually looking at the cards and not the screen. I do apologize. But that is it for Snapdax. I'm actually kind of looking forward to playing this one. New sleeves, they slide. Of course, pretty much that's all I deal with is new sleeves. Now that I think about it, because I don't really play a whole lot of sleeves long enough for them to be, worn out or anything. So, chair over. 569 is done. Snapdax. We are almost done with this row. So, like I said, I don't know about the schedule and what I'm still building decks. Got quite a few to go. I'm actually 5 legends away from having the ones I need. Well, I guess 4 because the buy box ones are they're inbound. I just got to go to the LGS and pick them up. But Still building. I love these two sets because it is two sets, but it's hard for me to kind of separate the two because we got them at the same time. So it's almost one set for me. I mean, I keep both of the binders out on the table at all times. But I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.